Yeah, so we just got that warning. We just noticed it. And so we're just literally floating right now. We turned the engine off and we're just floating in the channel right now.
Hey, welcome to Sailing Desire. This is Frank, and I'm Jessica. During the pandemic, we both quit our jobs working as engineers in aerospace to pursue the life we desire. We bought our boat in May 2021 and moved on to it full-time soon after.
But look at that, man. That was beautiful. We are headed to Southport, but it's gonna be a 2-day trip. We're gonna stop somewhere called Bird Island for the night, and then we'll finish to Southport in the morning or the next day.
What's up, passion pursuers?
We're currently in Georgetown, South Carolina. We were planning on heading to Southport, North Carolina about a week ago. However, we noticed an issue with our engine.
I'm at the helm right now. I'm not really sure when it happened, but when I went to bump up our RPM to go a little faster, I noticed that there was a warning light on. It said sea water temperature with just the letter C, so that's kind of funny. But yeah, so we just got that warning. We just noticed it. And so we're just literally floating right now. We turned the engine off and we're just floating in the channel right now. And Frank went into the engine room to see what was up.
The light was for our seawater temperature, so I checked the coolant, I checked our reservoirs, and they were actually empty. So luckily we had coolant on the boat, and we filled the reservoir, we filled the coolant tank, and then we fired the engine back up and attempted to leave Georgetown again. However, monitoring our situation, going at a lower RPM, once we started to kick the RPM up gradually, the light did come back on.
So, we had to turn the engine off again because the light came back on, so we're just coasting right now. And we are very, very closely passing this buoy. Definitely thought we might have had a little issue, but we're cool. I handled it.
So again, we turned it off and really just decided to come back into town to see if we could get any assistance with the issue.
We were originally planning on going to Southport, North Carolina. However, that was going to be a 2-day trip.
Right.
We were going to need to stop. I think we planned on Bird Island.
Bird Island, yeah.
Was that still in South Carolina?
Yeah, that's still in South Carolina.
So,
and that island is uninhabited. It's a vacant island just with birds. It's called Bird Island. So
we wouldn't have anybody around to help us,
right,
or be able to get to anything that we would need to potentially buy if that was the case. So we just decided not to go for it.
Right.
Just again, out of precautions. We definitely wouldn't want to get out into the ocean and not be able to use our engine at all, or get stuck at that island without having any resources to get our engine working again. So we definitely decided to just hunker down here in Georgetown and get some stuff done and try and figure out the engine.
Georgetown has been pretty good to us. We've been able to get a lot of things done. It's been very convenient, and we've encountered nice people. That's one of the benefits of really this lifestyle, and also all of our constant prayers, all of our family's constant prayers. We constantly encounter really nice people.
Helpful people.
I guess we'll do a shout out for Coastal Carolina. They actually allowed us to use one of their mooring balls since we were having engine issues. We spoke to some people at Coastal Carolina, and they allowed us to use one of their mooring balls at no cost. So that was really awesome. We were there for a couple days while we went to go visit family.
Yeah, we left the boat there while we went to go visit family for a couple days. It was Frank's cousin's birthday, so we decided to surprise his family and make the 6-hour drive.
6.5.
Yeah, it was pretty long. It was a little rough because the way coming back was the worst, just because we left at such a late time.
Right.
But we decided to do that because we ended up getting a second bike.
Yeah, shout out to my aunt for getting us a new bike. So now we can bike together.
Yeah.
Our folding bike gift just came, and it's all assembled already. You guys saw in a previous video that we had to build up our first one, but this one already came built and ready. Really cool. Looks a lot more sturdy than the other one too.
So between that and another Amazon package, we really just wanted to try and wait if we could to be able to come back here with that, as opposed to having to wait several weeks until we get up north more to get the bike. So because the bike ended up coming later on in the day.
6 or 7 o'clock at night, right?
Was it?
I think it was late.
I don't know. It ended up coming later in the day, and by we thought we were maybe gonna leave at noon, but we were having breakfast, all this stuff. So I was like, well, I don't think that we should leave, because by the time we got back here 6.5 hours later, it would have been dark. So we decided to leave at night to then get here the next morning. Yeah, so we were able to actually get in our dinghy and see how to get to our boat and stuff like that. So it ended up working out way better.
Yeah, instead of running out of sunlight, we were running into sunlight.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Once we returned, we kind of handled some errands, and then we resumed troubleshooting the engine, and I actually deep dived the coolant issue, taking some of the hoses off, checking the water filter, the raw water filter, and during one of our troubleshooting sessions, I had Jessica at the helm. She turned the engine on, and I was down below looking at the engine, and I actually noticed that the alternator wasn't spinning. So from that, I had her immediately cut everything off, and then it dawned on me like a light bulb. I felt kind of silly missing this, but our belt was missing. So at some point in time, probably right before we were planning to leave Georgetown, our belt must have snapped. So
that was the problem.
That was the problem.
Or we're hoping, I guess, because we still
haven't tested it.
Yeah, we still haven't, but that should be the issue.
Yeah, we got a replacement belt. We actually were speaking with this marine.
We're at Hazard Marine.
Yeah.
Right now, we've been here for the past 2 days.
Right, and we've been talking to them about belts. So they actually gave us phone numbers to some mechanics, and the mechanics kind of helped us via text to kind of figure out what was going on. And we got the part numbers for our belt. Nobody had the belt anywhere, so we actually got the closest replacement from Napa. The closest replacement that would fit the engine. So this was actually the belt that was on the boat originally. We will still try to get a Myanmar specific belt, but just to get us to our next destination, this belt should suffice. And yeah, we're gonna go install this now and hopefully be able to go back on our way.
Yep. We want to try and leave here today and do at least 5 hours, 5 hours of motoring, sailing, whatever we're able to do, and just continue going north.
Right.
We gotta try to get to
Maryland by the 2nd.
Right. So, without further ado, we're gonna go put this belt on and see you guys there.
Stop.
Did you hit record? Do it again. And just like that, we are headed back to the anchor. This is Frank and Jessica coming at you with another update. And also trees being cut in the background. That's part of our update.
Gotta get the camera.